Alright everyone, Tuesday morning and we're continuing the Celtic chat. Big game tomorrow, we're going to be discussing that and a few other things that happened yesterday on today's show. And Stevie has dropped in as well. Stevie, it feels like a long time since we've caught up. Have I done something to upset you?
Well, I'm the opposite of fabulous. Let's just say Hamish. I think I'm funny, didn't I? No, it's not a great evening for me. Recorded a pod, edited and all that, and then realised halfway through that the last 15 minutes with myself and Dan on Gig Pod never recorded. So it was it was a brilliant laugh. I just love wasting my time. It's dead funny. It's good. I've not got better things to do. But so been on with you near enough at midnight on a Monday night after a hard day at work. It's great. It's brilliant. Love it.
Yeah, apart from that, you alright though? Are things going alright?
It was good. Saturday was good. By the way, do you know where I was on Saturday? I was at that Celtic Sports Bar. It's quite good. Oh yeah, I liked it. It's good.
Talk us through it. What's? I don't think I've even been.
Well, a couple of guys in the queue first off watched the channel, said hello, and
names.
Go in, there's John and Joe or something, and then so you go in, and apparently it's open for 11 o'clock. Now I didn't know this, but this was my first time there. I went with my friend Mark, so we queued about one-ish, waited about 40 minutes to get in, but then got in fine, and there's generally enough space in there, and what I will say about it, it's in total fairness. Now, I was expecting some real slop, do you know, that warm beer you get, and it's just one sip, and you're having to pretend it's good. You're paying through, you're gritting through teeth and all that. But it was a good pint. It was a really good pint. Had a couple of Heavenlies, got a wee couple of seats, and enjoyed it. There was a couple of guys from Netherlands over as well for the game that we get chatting to, just touring in Celtic Park. So all in all, a good day. And the football wasn't bloody bad either, was it, Hamish?
Bloody love football. That was. I've never been. I've heard kind of relatively good things, but it's just not something I would really do. I'm sure plenty of people watching have been to. Is it the Celtic Bar? Is that what it's called?
The Celtic Sports Bar, I believe. Yes, and I know that might be beneath you these days, Hamish, because you're living it up in a better world, better part of the world now. But I'm still a man of the people. Don't worry about that. So I will represent this channel through those means.
Good man. Just on the subject of, it's a kind of loose subject, but Celtic related stuff that they're selling to people. I did read online that you can now buy and own a part of the Celtic Park pitch virtually. So we've partnered with a company, Sportly, who do this kind of thing. Basically, you log on to the website and select a very small part of the pitch. And I mean very small. It costs $29.99 for the season, $49.99 for 3 seasons. And you don't obviously actually get any of the turf because we kind of need that for the matches that are happening on it. But you do, Stevie, get a PDF saying you're the owner of that bit of turf, and you can certainly go and impress your mates with that PDF. So
when you have any mates after that, tell them about that.
If you're struggling for Christmas, Stevie, I think it's the kind of thing. I mean, yeah, I guess it's similar idea to the bricks, but the bricks are a bit more long term and classy, I would say, than a part of the pitch. But I'm guessing there must be a market for this kind of thing.
Well, maybe I'm not the demographic. You know, I mean, I'm an old tired man, and frankly, that type of thing for me, I think, is an insult. But clearly, it's marketed to people out there who will buy that. So yeah, I'm not the core audience there. I'm not the target. So fair enough. But yeah, I'm very surprised that people would be going out. It does seem like a bit of a con to me. But I know there's a lot of positives around the club now, and generally people are talking up Celtic. So yeah, I'm very much aware that while I talked up that sports bar, I'm doing the opposite here. But it's just not for me. Fair enough if you are into that type of thing, but I wouldn't be purchasing it. Not at that price.
I'd love to know what size of kind of square you can buy. I'm looking here at the bit I'm at. A couple of them have been sold out. So it's clearly, I mean, not particularly popular looking at that, but at least 2 have sold out. But that's just a small, tiny part of the pitch, and there are I'm not going to count them all, but I reckon there's about 300, 400 squares there, roughly. So it must be like a tiny part of the pitch. If there was one part, and I've thrown this question on you, but one wee part of the Celtic Park pitch that you wanted from like a memory of a goal or something like that. I mean, the penalty spot, I guess, would be quite an obvious one people would be going for, but I'd love to find a wee bit where Nakamura scored his free kick against Man United.
Penalty spot, a certain club's fans would be getting that one in there. You're asking me that question. Probably the corner towards 101 and 102 where all the players ran to, the Bedlam when we scored against Shakhtar and scored against Rangers, that corner, even Dundee United 4-2 when Abada scored, and when they run to that corner, I think that's a real area of the ground that still gets my emotions going and all that. So if you were to put me in the spot and if somebody was going to buy me that stupid
right, so here we go. Now we've heard that he doesn't want to get it himself, but if someone fancies buying Stevie that corner, he'll happily take it.
Oh yeah. So I have that's why I go with that wee corner bit at 101 and 102. I hope that answers your totally banal question.
Okay, Scott Bano. Right, how was Saturday?
Brilliant.
How was apart from your pints? Enjoyed the game?
Game? No, it was great. It was good. It was a real, everyone at Celtic now, all the players just seem so up for it, and the risk of sounding like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, they know their role, so they were genuinely just, the real hunger, desire that he's played is shown now. It's like a real ready squad that we've got there, and I hate all the daft catchphrases you've got to have a squad in the modern day game, but we literally do. I mean, all the changes that are made, and if you said to somebody, going to watch Celtic for the first time, that this isn't even the first strength Celtic team, like the full strength Celtic team, and you've seen that performance, they'd be turning round and they'd be going, so what are the guys on the actual bench like? Fantastic performance in that first half, and even at that, even in the second half, you see a lot of these games. Remember, like there's been games where even Andrew Celtic battered teams in the first half, and we saw it again already with Brendan's sides, and it was like the second half kind of fizzles out, like the Dundee 7-1 game for an example, right? 6 goals in the first half, and then it's like the second half we only score 1, and Dundee got their wee consolation. But we didn't stop creating chances. Like that genuinely could have been like 9 or 10. We had the woodwork. Jack Cameron, who came on for Laidlaw, who I genuinely believe chucked it. And he definitely chucked it. We honestly had so many chances and we kept playing our football and we just looked relentless. We looked totally unstoppable. And it was just really good to see. Especially as well after the old, the tired part of after a game like in midweek, the energy sat 90 minutes against Bruges. All it counts is for 3 points. Forget the performance, just 3 points. Like I love seeing that. I love actually seeing a good performance and 3 points, and it just threw that daft cliche out the water because we are capable of playing football, good football, after these games in Europe. So it was a really, really good Saturday afternoon. 3 o'clock as well, Hamish, my favourite kick-off time, of course. It would have been even better if it was 5:30, but I'll make do with the 3 o'clock kick-off. Honestly, a really enjoyable day.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was great to watch in that first half, and like the players. I mean, we've spoken about it a lot, but the players that came in and just the fact they were all just right on it right from the start. Like there was no time taken for these guys to get back up to speed, and these in general were guys who haven't been starting games recently, like James Forrest and Liam Scales and Valle, Luke McCowan, but these guys came right in and just like played right from the start, and I guess that shows that the level in training is really high and these guys are ready to go. So many positives to take away, and we move forward to Aberdeen now, which we will discuss in a wee minute. Just wanted to get your thoughts on Saturday. Scottish Cup draw, Stevie. I believe we've got Kilmarnock.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. I do keep up to date with stuff. Kilmarnock at home. I always like a good away day in the Scottish Cup. Just it's a good spectacle. But I fairly fancy is to progress to the next round with Kelly.
Just looking at the other ties, Dundee Derby. Well, that'll be interesting. St Johnstone, Motherwell, all Premiership. Ross County, Livingston, I don't know why I've highlighted that one. Rangers get Fraserburgh at home. Interesting.
Sorry, I'm shocked. Wow.
And here's one for you. It's the first time we've drawn a Premiership team in our first round of the Scottish Cup in a good while. Can you think back to when the last one would have been? It's a hell of a question for you.
It's a toughie. Clue, who was the manager?
Neil Lennon.
Lenny. First or second spell?
First.
No, it wouldn't have been.
We won 7-0.
God, first spell? 7-0, 20. Oh, God.
Away from home in the Scottish Cup, we won 7-0. I think we were 5 up at half time.
Aye, Hearts and Tynecastle. But that was a hell of a clue you gave me, so I couldn't really get that one wrong. My Tim credentials would have been out the window there.
So that was season 2013-14, the last time we drew a Premiership team in the fourth round. Hearts actually weren't a Premiership team. Then the following season, when again we drew them, they were relegated in that season. They were in the Championship. We drew them again. I think beat them 3 or 4-0. I remember a controversial John Guidetti penalty in that game. I think since then, pretty much it's been obviously lower league teams. We've had a lot of like away games like Alloa we had and Partick Thistle, and we've had was it Morton at home a couple of years ago and games like that. So I guess this is one of the trickier ties we've had. I think the big thing, if it was Kilmarnock away, you'd be looking at it as a pretty hellish draw, as much as we won there recently. But Kilmarnock at home, I think that might well be a Saturday 5:30 game. That's my feeling. So you might be happy about that.
Oh aye, I'll be there. I'll be there for that one, if so.
Yeah. Okay, let's move forward to tomorrow night. It's a 8 p.m. kickoff, Pittodrie. It's a big game. It's an opportunity for the team. 4 points clear of them. Chance to go 7 points clear and have a game in hand. Some would say, I don't know, maybe a chance to really look good for the league title. I don't want to say anything like sealing the deal or anything like that. Although you might feel differently. I know you're fond of a wee statement like that.
It just looks incredibly difficult for Aberdeen to sustain the pace and even keep up with us. And that's even assuming they pick up the form, because realistically, I do feel our Glasgow rivals Rangers will probably be second more than likely in the next few weeks ahead of Aberdeen with the way they're going. But you know what's interesting about tomorrow night, Hamish? Something's got to give, because here's one for you. Away from home, we've got a 100% record. And Aberdeen at home this season have a 100% record. We've won 7 and they've won all 7 of their games. So, there you go.
Ian Crocker will have that out before the game, won't he? It'll be something's got to give.
Jack Nicholson, I liked him.
Yeah, Leighton Clarkson, Aberdeen player, scored at the weekend. He's saying, we can't fear them. Before the 6-0 at Hampden, we had a decent record against Celtic by drawing the last 3 games. We'll give them total respect, but we'll be going out and looking to perform to the best of our ability and trying to take the 3 points. I felt at Hampden we were a bit passive, and Celtic have got really good players. When you give them half a yard, they can punish you, and they did. It's happened, but that 6-0 loss is in the past now. We look forward. In the game since then, the spirit's always been there. The fight's always been there. You saw it at the end against Hearts. We got that real togetherness in the squad still. We need to be at it on Wednesday. What happened at the end against Hearts? I'm not aware of that. I wonder if he's talking about like the players all came together or whatever. And I think it's going to be, it's clearly a challenge for us going up there. I think the atmosphere is something we're going to have to deal with, because certainly based off that game they had against Rangers just a few weeks ago, the atmosphere was red hot that night. Don't think it'll be quite as loud maybe, because clearly Aberdeen's the buzz will have lowered or lessened slightly, because they've taken I think 2 points from their last possible 9 in the league. We obviously I think burst their bubble a fair bit at Hampden, and yeah, so I don't think the atmosphere will be quite as difficult, but it will still be loud. But I just think if we deal with that, which I think the players will be absolutely fine with doing, I don't know. I just think we might win this by a few goals and really I hate using like make a statement, because Celtic don't need to make a statement, because we're the best team in Scotland and we've kind of made a statement every game so far this season. But I just, am I wrong to think that we can go out and win this pretty comfortably? It's not. I'm trying not to be like overconfident, but how can you not be when you watch this team play? And I just think Celtic are going to be just so motivated to go up there and beat Aberdeen again. And like, you remember the game in Rodgers' first time at the club, the second season, when we went up there midweek about this time of year, and again Aberdeen were in good fortunes, and the performance that night was one of the best, I think, under Brendan Rodgers during his first time at the club. 3-0, I think we won. It was a brilliant performance, and I just feel like you can maybe see something similar.
Yeah, that was something I was going to talk about. It really has that type of feeling, doesn't it? Get into this game. So I do remember Aberdeen were in fairly decent form. There was a lot of talk about it because Rangers obviously started the season terribly under Caixinha, and Aberdeen were flying at the time, and we just went up and we just walked all over them. And I feel even, but I guess Aberdeen fans will probably feel that we could do that again, because I mean that game at Hampden, I don't think it was just a fluke or a freak. I thought Celtic really, that is how they've been playing. And you look at it against Ross County as well. We could easily do that again tomorrow against Aberdeen. We'll be even at the point, right, where you could even say we have our big dogs back. But I mean, I look at Paulo Bernardo as a big dog now. I mean,
Luke McCown's a big dog at the moment.
Massively. I mean, everybody in that team has got the potential to really hurt Aberdeen. They really do. Get total confidence now in the defence, like the way Liam Scales just came back and performed admirably against Ross County was excellent. But again, if he drops out, harsh as it may be, get Trusty coming back in alongside CCV. Pair of them formidable. You mentioned it with Luke McCown, and it's great because I mentioned this on the lost recording, right, a gig pod, but know what's so good about him? Like, he's in that position where he's, it could be very easy just to say, like a Johnny Hayes type figure, or like, forget his footballing ability, so he's a great character to have around the squad, and people have mentioned that. But you saw on Saturday, I mean, take that personality and everything he's got, which is key, but the technique, the intelligence, his positioning, knowing when to actually drop deep and knowing when to sit and protect the midfield. His all-round play on Saturday was outstanding, and I would not be against him starting tomorrow. We're in that position now where our midfield talents and the selections we've got there are so strong that you wouldn't be complaining about anyone that plays. And I know you've been backing up Engels, and I like him too. It's maybe that type of game there that he goes and he actually shows how dominant he can be. I do have my doubts about him starting. I think Brendan will probably go with McCown and Bernardo again. But yeah, I think, I honestly do. But I wouldn't be shocked if he throws in Hatate, who historically has great games against Aberdeen, as we recall, even this season, as well as under Ange. So we've got so many great options there. Aberdeen look as if they're huffing and puffing now. I watched them against Hearts for the first sort of hour or so. They looked okay, but they certainly weren't anywhere near as dynamic as what they had been. They really seem to rely on the boy Morris, is it, out in the right, who's actually a decent player. But yeah, I think if we're starting somebody like Alex Vai up against him, he'll be really preoccupied with how much attacking he does. So I think all in all, Celtic just need to focus on themselves, not worry too much about what Aberdeen do. Focus on ourselves, and I think we'll be absolutely fine tomorrow. But it's not a walk in the park, but I think this team have earned so much confidence and trust that we're going up there in really good spirits, and we're actually expecting 3 points.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, it's going to be a tough game, as I say. I think Aberdeen, as you've said, they've won every game at home this season. They're very strong at Pittodrie, and that's going to be a big part of the game. They're going to make it really difficult for us. There's going to be spells of the game where we're probably going to have to defend a fair bit because they're a good team. But I just think like we're a much better team than Aberdeen, and I just think we're so confident at the moment. And we'll be going up there. For me, it's quite an easy game to be motivated for. And you saw how motivated we were at Hampden, and I just think going up to Pittodrie, going away from home, again, we're going to only have a small section of supporters, a bit like Tynecastle. And yeah, I think we're further along the line than we were at Tynecastle as well. Tynecastle was difficult because first game back, etc. I think the team, this is our fourth game back now. you get Kuhn back in that team. We'll wait and hear. I know Dyson Maeda apparently was he limping a little bit during the game on Saturday at one stage, so we'll hear from Brendan Rodgers later if there's anything to worry about there. But yeah, you bring Kuhn back in. I think Kyogo potentially comes back in for this one. Trusty comes back in, and you just get that freshness again, and you just get ready to go again. But I just think we're scoring so many goals at the moment that I just think we'll be fine, and we'll potentially win relatively comfortably. I'd love it if that was the case, but we'll wait and see. I think Hatate might start in the midfield next to Bernardo. I'm pretty confident Bernardo's going to start, and obviously McGregor will as well. So it's just about that third position. Kyogo come back in for you?
Yeah, I think he'll come back in. I think he'll start up front alongside Maeda, who I think will be fit, and I think Nicholas Kuhn as well, no doubt. Midfield, I would like to see Luke McCowan keep his place. I think his performance on Saturday was terrific. Obviously, in the manager we trust. I mean that sincerely, I do. But alongside Callum McGregor, I'd like to see Luke McCowan and Paulo Bernardo. That's who I'd go with. I would go with who started on Saturday. I think they've earned it. And also as well, the fact is Bernardo is a genuine goal threat for us as well. We saw that on Saturday. Gets into these positions, especially when the fact that Maeda and Kuhn will be supplying Furuhashi and anybody like making the deep runs into midfield with a constant sort of threats for wide. So I genuinely do feel Bernardo and McCowan should be starting for us in midfield alongside McGregor. So spoiled for choice there, but that's who I go with.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be a big game, big atmosphere. What you doing for the game?
We hear this one. Usually I'm out in front of the date box these days because I hate getting out for the matches. But a friend of ours who will remain unnamed, but we do know who I'm on about, is going to come out with myself and Reed. So he coaxed me into it. So I will be watching it. I will be watching it in the pub, Hamish. What about you? Is it what time? Actually, what time is it for you? That's on it.
It's good here. 7 a.m. kickoff. So can't really complain with that. I feel like I want to get up a wee bit early and watch the Sky coverage. It's quite a big game, and I quite enjoy getting up early and just see what they're saying. That wonderful guy Chris Boyd, etc., and then watch the game and obviously the post-match video and all that. Should say everyone will have a video tomorrow morning as well. I'll cover Brendan Rodgers' press conference and whatever else is happening. But no, looking forward to it, Stevie. I'll let you get to your bed.
Thank you. That's nice of you. Cheers, Hamish. I'll enjoy my sleep. What can I say? I always love my sleep.
Right. Okay, everyone. Thank you. A strange ending to this video, but much appreciated. And we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning.